Now, one of the things you talk about too is it's not so much extraordinary people; it's ordinary people maybe doing more extraordinary type of things. What are maybe two or three ways that just an ordinary person can do those extraordinary things?
Right. Another part of our SEAL creed is a common man with an uncommon desire to succeed. And you really see this in SEAL training. SEAL training is the melting pot. You got all different kinds of people that show up. You have people that once upon a time were professional athletes. You've even had Olympians come through. And then you have guys that are just video gamers. And a couple of guys come to mind. One was this guy named Barth. He was the athlete. He was the guy in our class that he had the muscles. I mean, he was in first place every time. There's no competition over who's going to get first. It's always a question of who's going to get second place. This guy's the champ. And there's this other guy, who's a video gamer. His name was Gagne. Mm-hmm. And this guy was always in the goon squad, we called it. He was in the very back of the pack, and you think this guy's going to be the very first guy to quit. I remember he just had this big old mole on the side of his face. He's just an awkward-looking guy. He's the ugly duckling of the class. Mm-hmm. The ironic thing is that once we got to the most difficult part of SEAL training called Hell Week, Barth, the guy with the muscles, he was one of the very first guys to quit. Mm-hmm. And that guy, Alex Gagne, the weakest guy in the class, physically speaking, he was one that held strong, and he was there for graduation day. And so one of the things there is that, a lot of people sometimes use the excuse that it's just not really in my bones, it's not in my DNA to do this. Well, it's not really about that. SEAL training is 85% mental and 15% physical. How could that be when you're covering 200 miles in 5.5 days and we're getting 4 hours of sleep? Like, that doesn't sound right. And what it is, it's mind over matter. You can't control your DNA. You can't decide whether or not you have the muscles of Barth or you're the ugly duckling like Gagne. But what you are in control of is whether or not you have the mindset of Barth, the guy that quit, or the mindset of Gagne. And so the people that succeed and come out in the end, they're forged by that adversity. And they're the common man that has the uncommon desire to succeed. And so for the leader, it's that leader that catches the vision. They determine this is what I want to pull the trigger on here. And they have that uncommon desire to see it through and communicate that to his people.